What's up, Dunk Squad? It's Wayne Duncan, No Vision Duncan, and we're back with year two of the Madden 24 New Orleans Saints realistic rebuild. If you tuned in to part one, we underperformed, finished 8-9, third in the NFC South, third in the division. We missed out on the playoffs. We had two big, unexpected retirements and two of our best players on defense, two of our best players on the team in Cam Jordan and Demario Davis. But we are going to show you how I replaced or tried to attempt to replace those two great players. And I ain't gonna waste no time. I'm gonna show y'all that right now as we meet the team, the roster, the squad here before the preseason here in U2. QB1 remains Derek Carr, who had I'm gonna say okay season, kind of underwhelming. I mean, he threw for almost 3,600 yards, 20 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. Now, the touchdown interception ratio, not bad. 20-7, not bad at all. But we would like to see more touchdowns, at least in the 30s when it comes to touchdown passes. But Derek Carr will be our QB1 for this next season. We did draft this guy, Adam Brooks, I think in like the 6th or 7th round, just to be a backup. Maybe we could develop him as our future starting quarterback. And we still have Jake Haener here, who's going to start in the preseason. Running back, we have Jamal Williams, who actually has a better overall right now than Alvin Kamara. So, like I said in year one, in part one, maybe down the line, we trade Alvin Kamara. He is going to be 30 years old next season or this season. I mean, he still has superstar dev. He was suspended the first 3 games of the regular season last season. And but we will have him in week one. We're not playing him in preseason so he can stay healthy, but he will be the starter at least for week one. But Jamal Williams might actually play a little bit of fullback because we don't have a fullback right now on the roster. And then Kendre Miller. Kendre Miller, I'm looking to develop as our RB2, maybe even RB1 if we do move on from Alvin Kamara and Jamal Williams. If we go Jamal Williams as the running back one, that would be like a short-term thing. So gonna try to develop Kendre Miller. We have a couple of guys down here that the game signed for me from our practice squad for the preseason. At wide receiver, Chris Olave. He was our wide receiver one last season. I think he was our only receiver to go over 1,000 yards. He led the team in catches, yards, and touchdowns. Almost 100 receptions with 96, 1,300 yards, 11 touchdowns. Pro Bowl season for Chris Olave. Got Michael Thomas here, trying to get him back to form. A.T. Perry, though, I think is going to have a breakout year for us. Going to try to develop him as our wide receiver 3. And then we just have a bunch of other guys down here. At tight end, we got Juwan Johnson, Foster Moreau, Taysom Hill still. Left tackle, Trevor Penning. Still got Landon Young. Guard this year is going to be James Hurst. No more Trey Turner. No more Andrews Pete. So the veteran James Hurst is just going to step right in and fill that void. We did draft this guy, Nicholas Berry, just a backup guard. Center will remain Eric McCoy. We brought in Joey Hunt. Go Hawks. Right guard, Cesar Ruiz, Nick Saldiveri, Ryan Ramczyk. And then we signed this undrafted rookie free agent Jay Richards out of LSU. Defensive end, Isaiah Foskey, we moved him over to the left side. He played the right end his rookie year. I think he's going to have a big jump here in year 2. Still got to know as the backup. And then this guy, Niles Wilkins. He was our first round pick in the draft, and we drafted him because of the retirement of Cameron Jordan. So hopefully he can, fill those shoes, fit in those shoes that Cam Jordan left. We got Peyton Turner still here, I think in his final year of his contract. So we got younger at defensive end, but they're not Cameron Jordan, but they're going to have to step up big time. Brian Brzee going into his second year at defensive tackle. We still got Nate Shepard, Kaylon Sanders, and then we signed this undrafted rookie, George Greenberry, out of South Carolina. And then our second round pick to replace Demario Davis, Stephon Milner out of West Virginia. He had hidden dev, 75 overall. I mean, he's not Demario Davis, but maybe he could be. But we get younger at linebacker just like we did at defense. And we brought in Anthony Barr, Skull Vikings, to be like a bridge player, mentor to Stephon Milner. At middle linebacker, we brought in Devin Bush in free agency. He's actually going to be playing the position that Demario Davis played for us at middle linebacker. So technically, Stephon Milner is not the replacement for Demario Davis. He's replacing, I think we had Zach Bond at left outside linebacker. But Devin Bush comes in, one of our big free agent signings. Go Hawks. Kind of in the middle of that because I know he was drafted by the Steelers, but is on my Seattle Seahawks for this season. We still have DeMarco Jackson as the backup middle linebacker. Pete Werner, who I think is going to have to lead our linebacker group. 26 years old. I think he's in the final year of his contract. Only normal dev. I could have swore he went up to star after the Super Bowl week, and then they bumped him back down to normal. But I still have high hopes for Pete Werner, and then still got Nefi Sewell as the backup right outside linebacker. At corner, we got Marshawn Lattimore. Got Levi Wallace, who was our second free agent signing with Devin Bush, another Steeler. I usually don't sign a lot of Steeler players in free agency. I try to stay away from them. But he's going to help the cornerbacks. He does have star dev. I think he might play in the slot for us because Paulson Adebo led the team, I think, with 4 interceptions last season. 93 tackles, 2 TFLs, went up to superstar dev. That's big. And then, we get Levi Wallace. We still got Alontae Taylor, who can still try to develop as a, cornerback 3, cornerback 4. Y'all know we love using our 4-5 cornerbacks. But this guy, Brian Beckham, who we drafted, our third hidden dev in the draft, low overall, 68. But, after Levi Wallace contract is up, and if we don't go with Alontae Taylor, Beckham can step right in as that cornerback 3 behind Paulson Adebo and Marshawn Lattimore. So I love our depth at corner. We still got the Honey Badger here at free safety. JT Gray and Brandon Joseph backing him up. Then at strong safety, we still got Marcus May, Jordan Howden. They brought in Smoke Monday and Ben DeLuca. Still got the Blake Group and Lou Headley at punter and kicker. And then those are our draft picks for next year's draft. I think because of the retirements of Demario Davis and Cameron Jordan, we do have 2 team captain slots available. So I'm going to hand them out right now. First off, Michael Thomas, put that C patch on his jersey, lead this young wide receiver group, kind of mentor Chris Olave and A.T. Perry. I thought about Taysom Hill for special teams, but because we have Derek Carr as a team captain, I just made Michael Thomas a team captain. I think Eric McCoy is a team captain. Ryan Ramczyk should be team captain, but Eric McCoy is on the offensive line. We have a lot of offensive players for team captain. If I made Taysom Hill team captain, the only team captain on defense would then be the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. So we are going to make Marshawn Lattimore the last team captain, so we at least have 2 on defense. And let's just make sure we don't have any more team. Yeah, so that was the last team captain slot. So we are ready for the preseason. We benched some of our starters. No Derek Carr, no Michael Thomas, no Alvin Kamara. And let's simulate week 1 of the preseason, see how we do. And we lose the first preseason game. Not about wins and losses. It's about performances. Do have a couple of position battles. Not a whole lot, though. And both backups did not play well. Adam Brooks, the rookie, threw a pick. Jake Hayner threw a pick. He was 4 of 7. The rookie Adam Brooks was 12 of 22. Kendre Miller did score a touchdown. And then receiving, we had no touchdowns. Landon Young gave up 2 sacks. We had a sack for Brian Brzee. We had a sack for Nate Shepard. And we had a pick for the rookie, Brian Beckham, with 6 tackles. Devin Bush with the interception. So 2 new additions on the defense, making impacts in the preseason already as we get ready to simulate week 2 of the preseason against the Cleveland Brownies. And we are now 0-2. Let's see what happened in this game. 7-21 is that same score as week 1 in the preseason. Both quarterbacks not playing well, man. Once again, a pick for Adam Brooks, pick for Jake Hayner. We may have to find a better backup quarterback. We don't have Jameis Winston no more either, so we may have to look in free agency. 37 yards for Jamal Williams. Dwayne McBride with a touchdown. Cade Warner was our leading receiver. Would like to see more out of A.T. Perry. Landon Young giving up another sack. And then we had a sack for Kalon Sanders. And no interceptions from the defense. No field goals made. And let's see if we can go 0-3 in the preseason. You know, I actually like going 0-3 in the preseason. It's like backwards good luck. But we have the training camp standout. Who is it? Who's trying to ball out? And it is Brian Brzee. Now let's do stopping the run for Brian Brzee. Final preseason game before we have to make any cuts. And we only have to cut 5 players. We actually win our last preseason game to go to 1-2. And let's see who did their 35-14. So Adam Brooks and Jay Kaner. So both with their jobs on the line. They both performed in the final preseason game. Jay Kaner and Adam Brooks both throwing touchdowns. 4 or 5 for Adam Brooks. 14. So both of them were efficient. Jamal Williams with a touchdown. Kendre Miller, I like seeing that, averaging 4.3 yards per carry. Touchdown for Dwayne McBride. That's his second straight touchdown. He might make the final roster. Chris Olave, over 100 yards. A.T. Perry, 60 yards on 3 catches. And a receiving touchdown for Kendre Miller. And then we had 3 sacks for the second-year defensive end, Isaiah Foskey, and a sack for Peyton Turner, a pick for DeMarco Jackson, 5 of 5 on the extra points for our kicker group. And we do have to make some cuts. So let's go to the final stats for the preseason. And I think we're still going to go with Jake Haener because he played against the first team of the other teams that we played in the preseason. So we're going to give him the nod and make him quarterback too. Still going to look in free agency though, see if there's a better backup option at quarterback. Jamal Williams, I think, is going to play a little bit of fullback this year. So Kendre Miller is going to play more of the running back 2 role. Dwayne McBride might just make him our running back 3 or 4. A.T. Perry was our leading receiver. Did Kendre Miller have our only receiving touchdown? Oh, it's Chris Olave too. Offensive line, Landon Young gave up the most, but everybody else did really good. Joey Hunt did good. Nicholas Berry, Nick Saldiveri. So our backups, outside of Landon Young, did well. Lante Taylor was our leading tackler, tied with Devin Bush. Brian Brzee and Isaiah Foskey had the most TFLs. Isaiah Foskey had the most sack. We only had 3 interceptions. No field goals attempted, but he was 7 of 7. Inside the 25 times, longest 62 yards, average 52.7 in the preseason. Now it's time to make our 5 cuts. We'll check out free agency just to see if there's anybody, hanging around. And I think, do both quarterbacks deserve to make the roster? I know we're going with Jay Kaner. I'll put Adam Brooks on the practice squad. You don't see too many teams having 3 quarterbacks on the roster. I mean, when you look at the 49ers in that NFC Championship game, maybe we should keep 3 on the roster. These running backs down here, C.J. Verdell, he can go on the practice squad. And so can Kirk Merrick. I would like to keep him as a return man because of that speed. Let's see. All these receivers can go. Cade Warner had a good preseason, so we're going to keep him. Isaiah McCoy, never seen McCoy spelt like that before. He's going to get released. I think Jared Stearns. I think I'm going to put Jared Stearns on the practice squad. Because like I said, Cade Warner had a good preseason. Offensive line is staying. This extra defensive end right here, William Bradley King, he can get released. And then I think we should be set. Okay, Smoke, we don't need all these safeties. So Smoke Monday can get released. So can Ben DeLuca. And I think that opens up 1 roster spot. We can keep Brandon Joseph or move him to the practice squad too. And then we should have 2 open spots. And what could we sign? So I could go with a wide receiver 4, and then maybe a fullback. I think we're going to keep a fullback off the roster. We could go with a backup quarterback, but let's see who's in free agency, because usually week 3 of the preseason, teams start cutting players. You might find some high overall players in free agency. It's the kickers right now. Quarterbacks. So Adam Brooks is the highest rated free agent. Well, he's on our practice squad. Don't want Nick Foles. Don't want Kyle Allen. Running back, we are set. I mean, could bring in Clyde Edwards-Helaire, LSU, but we're set at running back. Fullback, nothing really there. I think we're going to go with Jamal Williams. Wide receiver 4, could bring Jarvis Landry back. Let's look at Brian Edwards. Can't even sign him. Like to reunite him with Derek Carr. There's no quarterbacks. I think I'm just going to keep the team as is and just leave those 2 roster spots open. And if we have any injuries during the season, I will sign the 2 players. But let's go to Paulson Adebo, new superstar dev corner. Let's try to make him a scheme fit, put his man coverage up. Steven Milner, the rookie left outside linebacker. Beckham, the corner we drafted. And let me know in the comments below if you guys want to see me do the training camps. I know I said in part 1 that I would probably save that for the realistic franchise series. I know you get extra XP points, you get extra skill points. Sometimes you can even go up dev when you do the training camps, and that would allow more gameplay to be shown. It just would make the videos a little bit longer. Maybe I am handicapping myself by not taking advantage of the opportunity to go up dev trait, but I just want to say that for the realistic franchise. But let me know in the comments below, and I'll do a couple of training camps here in these realistic rebuilds. But let's set up the depth chart and get on to the regular season, where honestly I don't think if we miss the playoffs again, I'm not going to be too blowed about it, because all the other teams in the division did get better. Falcons won the division. They won 13 games. We tied record-wise with the Panthers, but they finished second. We finished third, and then the Bucks were just trash. They were garbage. They were ass. But, we regressed. We lost 2 great players on defense. So it's going to be hard to overcome that. We're going to start Alvin Kamara. We're going to go Kendre Miller as our backup running back. Fullback is going to be Jamal Williams. We can have Taysom Hill right there, and then we'll go with Foster Moreau. Receiver, Chris Olave, Michael Thomas, A.T. Perry. And then we'll go with Taysom Hill actually as our wide receiver 4. And then the rest is fine. And then Juwan Johnson, Foster Moreau. Offensive line should be set. Foskey, the rookie Niles Wilkins. Even though Peyton Turner is the backup defensive end, he's going to be our rush defensive tackle. Milner is going to start. Devin Bush is going to start. Pete Werner is going to start. And then they have Marshawn Lattimore, Levi Wallace. We're going to start Paulson Adebo. And then Honey Badger. Instead of JT Garrett, we're going to put, let's put Beckham. Give him some more playing time. And then strong safety. I'll take Taylor back there. Special teams, they have Alvin Kamara. Now we're going to go with Merritt. That's why we kept him on the roster for special team purposes. And then we can go with, who else? We don't have a lot of great returners. Oh, Alontae Taylor. He has a lot of speed on him. And then punt return. Yeah, we can go with Jordan Howden. Definitely not Alvin Kamara. Paulson Adebo. Go with Kendre. I'll go with Kendre. Kickoff start, we'll go with the punter. No, we'll go with the kicker. He has better accuracy. Long snapper, maybe Saldivari. We'll just keep it as is. I like long snapper. I use that as an opportunity if we have any depth linemen that gets them on the field. So I think I am actually gonna put Saldivari right there. Third down back will be Alvin Kamara, Jamal Williams, Kendre Miller. I think I'm gonna go with Kendre right there, and then power back will be Kamara. No, we'll leave Jamal Williams. Let's go Kamara. Let's go Kamara. Slot receiver, we're gonna do A.T. Perry, and then Michael Thomas, and then Alvin Kamara. I kind of want to get Taysom Hill in there too. Kamara's already a third down back, so yeah, we'll do Taysom Hill and Michael Thomas. Left end will be Foskey. Right end will be Wilkins, the rookie. D tackle will be Brian Brzee. And then we'll go with Peyton Turner. Sub linebacker will be Devin Bush, Pete Warner, and Milner. I might even, with Pete Warner's contract coming up, don't know if we're going to extend him. We could build around Milner and Devin Bush. So I kind of want to put Pete Warner had over almost 140 tackles last season though. He could go. I think we're going to leave it like this for now, and then in the middle of the season might switch to Milner as the sub linebacker too, and then slot corner will be Levi Wallace. Alontae Taylor, and then the rookie Beckham. All right, so that is the roster. We'll look at the adjust lineup screen before week 1 against the team that we kind of tied with at 8-9, the Carolina Panthers. Practice squad player Adam Brooks, our quarterback that we drafted, just got signed by Derek Carr's former team. And honestly, our season goal, I don't have high expectations or as much expectations as we did in year 1. So I'm going to keep it at 4 wins, but that 4 wins means like a 4 to 6 win range. So I'm saying about 6 wins. I think we might have a chance to finish third again or last in the division. I think the other teams got better. I think we regressed, losing Demario Davis and Cam Jordan at the same time. Yes, we made a couple of free agent signings with Devin Bush and Levi Wallace, and we drafted, some young defensive players like our defensive end and our linebacker and the corner. But I don't know how much better we got. 81 overall, 81 defense, 81 offense. Looking at the draft class, there's a corner, DN, a couple of tackles, quarterbacks, a couple of quarterbacks if we want to, get younger at the position. Camp standout, that is Brian Brzee. See if he can continue that. And the Panthers are 81 overall. But let's look at the adjust lineup screen so we can just see everybody on the depth chart. As you see, Derek Carr lost his star dev from last season. Kamara has his superstar dev still. Chris Olave. Offensive line, all silver besides James Hurst, who's the only one we're probably going to have to replace. And then defense, even though we lost the 2 big pieces, we got younger, and it actually doesn't look that bad. If we could find a partner for Brian Brzee inside at defensive tackle, and, if Pete Warner can still develop, or if we, give up on him, I don't know. It actually does not look that bad. So let's simulate game 1, week 1, against the Carolina Panthers. We are at home. See if we can get the dub, and we can't. And we can't. 28-36. What happened? It was 27-0 in the first half, and then we shut them out in the third quarter. We dropped 21, and then they just outscored us by 2 points in the fourth quarter. So we need to perform better in the first half. 3 turnovers. I hope that's not 3 interceptions by Derek Carr. Look at that. 3 fourth down conversions. The Carolina Panthers are very aggressive. And yes, it was 3 interceptions for Derek Carr. He did throw 4 touchdowns, and then Bryce Young threw 3 interceptions and 4 touchdowns. We only got sacked 1 time, so shout out to the offensive line. Kamara, 61 yards rushing. Derek Carr, 23 yards rushing. Receiving, Adam Thielen, Skull, Vikings, legend, went off on us. 10 catches, 109 yards, 2 touchdowns. Chris Olave was our leading receiver. 2 touchdowns for Michael Thomas, touchdown for Alvin Kamara. So at least our playmakers are making plays. Trevor Penning gave up a sack. And we had a pick from Marshawn Lattimore, Honey Badger, Von Bell, the former Saint, and Levi Wallace, our free agent pickup. So our players are star players making plays. We just did not play well in the first half. Could have easily won that game. Let's see if Brian Brzee. I don't think he hit the standout. We'll check it out. There's our favorite line. Really thought I was poised. All right, week 2 against the Washington Commanders. See if we can beat them on the road to get our first win of the season. See if they can develop Sam Howell like how he's developing in real life. And we actually do get the win on the road. 20-14. We outrushed them. And look at our defense, man. 3 turnovers, 3 picks off of a quarterback 2 weeks in a row. We did it to Bryce Young in week 1. Now we did it to Sam Howell. So me addressing the defense in free agency and in the draft heavily after losing those 2 great players in Cam Jordan and Demario Davis is really paying off. 6 interceptions in 2 games. Derek Carr scrambling. Kendre Miller had 6 carries. Why is Jamal Williams not getting any carries at fullback? Juwan Johnson was our leading receiver. Chris Olave with a touchdown. Niles Wilkins getting his first sack of his career. Brian Brzee wants to get a sack the week after his scenario. Honey Badger with 3 interceptions in 2 games. DeMarco Jackson with the interception. I back him middle linebacker, and there goes Group. Missing a field goal. But, man, 10 punts, 507 yards, 2 punts inside the 20. But, man, our defense, getting turnovers. We are not using Jamal Williams, though. I don't like that. Don't like that at all. So what we might do is put him as the backup running back and have him as the fullback, or go Taysom Hill as the fullback. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that. And we have a weekly award winner, and it's Honey Badger, and he had a pick 6, 3 tackles, 2 picks, and a touchdown. Shout out to Tyrann Mathieu. And then let's check out the first mock to see where we are mocked and who we are mocked to take. And they have us in the top 4 at 1-1. They have us taking a tackle, Sam Baugh. Now we could upgrade the offense line at guard, so I'm not opposed to drafting an offensive lineman. So not bad first mock. But we are 1-1. Whole division. Well, the Bucks are 0-2. Falcons are 2-0. See if we can beat the Panthers, who we lost to week 1. All we gotta do is score in the first half, and we lose to them again. So we get swept by the Panthers. And another close game, 21-28. What happened? So we were tied in the first half. We couldn't score anything in the third quarter, and that was the difference in the game. So the first game between us, it was the first half, and the story of this game was the third quarter and the second half. We could not score a touchdown or any points. But we did not play a bad game. Another game that we could have won. But the Panthers may just be a step ahead of us. It's 102 yards. A.T. Perry with a touchdown. Trevor Penning giving up a sack. Offensive line playing really good, though. No sacks or interceptions in this game, and we fall to 1-2. We get swept by the Panthers early on in the season. Same team that we tied with. And now we have the 0-3 Bucks. This could be a trap game. They were the worst team in our division last season with only 5 wins, and they're gonna get their first win of the season at our expense. Another close game. At least we're not getting blown out. It was tied 10 all at the half, and the story was the third quarter. I don't know what we're doing in the locker room, but we're coming out of there after halftime, and we're not scoring points. No turnovers. Derek Carr is protecting the ball. Offensive line is protecting him. There we go. Finally give Jamal Williams a carry. Taysom Hill had 3 catches. Juwan Johnson with the touchdown. James Hurst, Trevor Penning giving up sacks on that left side. Brian Brzee and Wilkins both would have sacks. No interceptions. So our defense has kind of cooled off with the turnovers. I think we need to rely on the defense to win these games. If they can get us turnovers, we win. If they can't get us turnovers, that's when we lose. We have another trap game, 0-4 Chargers. Our best offensive lineman, Ryan Ramczyk, is out with injury. That sucks. We got Joey Bosa and I think Khalil Mack if they still have him, and we lose. Fall to 1-4, and we get blown out, 42-17. We turned the ball over. It was 21-3 at the half. Third quarter, 0 points. Tired of seeing that. Derek Carr wasn't bad, and the offensive line, when Ryan Ramczyk goes down, that's exactly what's supposed to happen. 5 sacks allowed from the offensive line. Chris Olave with a $121. We can't start him again. 3 sacks given up in his first game. Probably put Saul DeVary out there at tackle. See how he does. Group gets a field goal blocked. Just terrible. Just terrible all around. Chargers almost dropping 50 on our heads. But yeah, that rookie right tackle. Sorry, bro. Put Saul DeVary out there. All right, we have the division leading Atlanta Falcons, OP, in simulation, Atlanta Falcons, and they hand us our 5th loss of the season, and this is not going so well. 16-31. Well, we kicked the field goal in the third quarter, didn't score any points. In the first quarter, we actually got a safety in the second quarter. Did we get another safety in the fourth? 11 points. Let me find out we had 2 safeties in this game. Our passing yards were great. We're not turning the ball over. They weren't even that great on third down. Okay, 5 sacks. We need Ryan Ramczyk. We need Ryan Ramczyk. And look at that. They didn't even have Desmond Ridder. They got Kirk Cousins. They got Captain Kirk now. Bijan went crazy. Jamal Williams touchdown. T. Perry, Kendra. Juwan Johnson's having a good season. Real good season. Yeah, we need Ryan Ramczyk back in the lineup. And we need our defense. Honey Badger with 4 picks on the season already. Group missed a field. We might need a new kicker. He's too short. 5'7". Can't see over the damn line when he's kicking the ball. Revenge game for Derek Carr. See if we can beat the Raiders. Foster Moreau, revenge game as well. And we get the job. So if it was one game we were going to win, Derek Carr was not going to let us lose this game against the Raiders. 24-10. We outrushed them. Passing yards weren't that great, but Derek Carr did not turn the ball over. He had 1 touchdown, no interception. And there we go. The defense with our vintage 3 pick. And look who their quarterback is. The guy that we drafted in the 6th round, I believe. Signed him to our practice squad. The Raiders steal him off our practice squad in week 1. And we pick his ass off 3 times. We did get sacked 4 times, though, because Ryan Ramczyk isn't playing. But Kamara, Jamal. Look at this trio. Not a great game for, well, not bad. Only 7 carries. Must have got hurt. But 5.4 yards per carry. But then 35 and a touchdown for Jamal. 32 and a touchdown for Kendra. I love using all 3 running backs. See, the difference between me and other YouTube content creators that do realistic rebuilds, they like to use just the 3 receivers, the 2 starters in the slot. They like using just the 1 running back and the 3 corners. No, we have depth. We play with injuries on. We're using everybody, damn it. Everybody's important when it comes to my rebuilds. Every position matters. 90-yard, Michael Thomas having a bounce back season. Touchdown for Chris Olave, Jamal Johnson with 30 yards. Trevor Penning. We need Ryan Ramczyk back. Devin Bush with the sack. Nate Shepard with the sack. 3 picks for Marshawn. I think that's 4 interceptions on the season for him. We might be leading the league in interceptions. Mock Draft 2 is out. Let's see if we're still at number 4. Might be even higher. We are, moved up 1 spot. Number 3, they still have us taking a tackle. So they really want us to go offensive line. Quarterback doesn't look too appealing. This corner looks sick, but I think we're set at corner, especially with all these turnovers we're getting. See if we can get swept by the Atlanta Falcons. I don't think we won a game in the division. I think we lost to the Bucks too. Yeah, so we get swept by the Panthers. We get swept by the Falcons. If we lose to the Bucks, we will have got swept by the whole NFC South. I don't think we can win the division getting swept, going 0-6 in the division. Once again, can't score in the third quarter. We couldn't pass the ball. 1 turnover. Defense couldn't get any turnovers. Kamara had a great game. Kirk Cousins rushed for 40 yards and a touchdown on us. Receiving, Chris Olave was our leading receiver. Niles Wilkins, Nate Shepard, late group. I'm not noticing. Peyton Turner isn't doing anything. I haven't seen Pete Warner, A.T. Perry, guys that I thought would step up aren't stepping up. Stephen Milner with 2 skill points. See if his dev trait has been revealed. He is only a star. Chris Olave. We'll just continue to make him a deep threat. He'll never be a scheme fit. And then Isaiah Foskey will make him a power rusher. That's why we moved him to that side. Niles Wilkins, let's see if his dev trait has been revealed. Probably a star. Don't see the abilities tab. And we still don't know what he is yet. And then Beckham, he had a hidden dev, but I don't think he's playing that much. He's our 5th last corner on the depth chart. Probably a star. And then we'll do Alvin Kamara. Don't look like Alvin Kamara. And then Brian Brzee. Continue making him a run stopper. And it will auto upgrade everybody else. Then we're at the midseason mark. We'll look at the contracts and we'll look at any depth chart switches. I don't think A.T. Perry's doing too good in the slot. So yeah, let's change some things around. I think sub linebacker 2, we're gonna go ahead and make Milner. I think slot receiver, we're gonna go and make it. They changed it on me. Did they switch my stuff around, bro? This game, bro. I thought that was over with. I have it on manual. Boy. So they have my defensive. Oh my god. That could cost me defensive rookie of the year. I was wondering why Wilkins wasn't getting a lot of sacks. They had Peyton Turner. Game knows what it be doing, man. So A.T. Perry wasn't even in the slot. It was Michael Thomas, bro. But Michael Thomas is balling. I was going to put Michael Thomas there anyway. So, guess I'll just leave it like that. Guess I'll leave it like that. Look, long snapper even got changed, bro. What is going on? They switch just weird stuff around. Like now I gotta, bro. I shouldn't have to do this, bro. I shouldn't have to do this when the depth chart is set to manual. Why did they change, bro? That was just, they changed my sub DN to Peyton Turner, bro. What? Anyway, let's look at the contracts. So Paulson Adebo doesn't want to be here, but we don't even have that much money, bro. Who all do we have to sign? Juwan Johnson. Damn. Michael Thomas. Oh man, this Honey Badger. Yeah, we're gonna lose some players. Marcus May, Pete Turner, Peyton Turner. Oh man, maybe I should have traded Michael Thomas and or Honey Badger. Tell you what, Paulson Adebo is number one priority. We're gonna have to wait to the end of the season when we get some money, a little bit more money. We're past the trade deadline, so let's simulate against the Steelers. See if we can get the win on the road, and we lose. Hate losing to the Steelers. 3-13. Derek Carr wasn't 7 sacks, man. We need Ryan Ramczyk is that important. He is that important to this team, man. I think because we already thought that A.T. Perry was the slot receiver and they just switched it to fucking Michael Thomas, who's probably gonna be gone in the season. We're gonna put A.T. Perry there to see if he can make an impact. A.T. Perry. Yeah. Don't know how it got switched in the first place. We got the Chiefs. And the Panthers catching up to the Falcons. It's crazy. And we fall to 2-8. So looks like we're not making the playoffs. Kind of expected it, but I didn't expect it to be this bad. I should have played a close game against the Chiefs. Kind of outplayed them, really. Don't know how we lost that game. Just got off to a slow start. Yeah, not a bad game at all, but we couldn't stop Pacheco. He found the end zone 3 times. Kendre Miller with 2 rushing touchdowns. Chris Olave went crazy. A.T. Perry was okay. Maybe it's time we make Kendre Miller the backup running back. Maybe make him the starting running back because Derek Carr, Alvin Kamara, it might be time to sell. Honey Badger looks like he's going to be gone. Michael Thomas looks like he's going to be gone. So, hey. Window is closing here in New Orleans. As the other teams in the NFC South getting better, we're just getting worse. Not performing. 17-38, we lose to the Cowboys. Couldn't do anything against them. Derek Carr, I mean, he's doing the best he can. Offensive line just not protecting him. Juwan Johnson, of course he's having a good season in his contract year. And Trevor Penning is just getting straight up abused, man. Straight up bullied. Sacked for our rookie linebacker. Might even have to find a new kicker. Got an injury. It's Brian Brzee, our best defensive tackle. Ryan Ramczyk should be back. Let's make sure that they put him. I hate that they don't tell you when the players return from injury. I don't know why they took that out of the game. So it's like you have to remember how many weeks they were out and you check the depth chart, see if they're back. 5-5 Rams, and we lose to them. And let's upgrade the players since we are at the bye week. Niles Wilkins, I don't know if we saw his dev trait yet. think his was still hidden, but he should be a star. And then Beckham, don't know if he's revealed, but he should be a star probably. Still not revealed. Auto upgrade everybody. Hey, might get the #1 overall pick. Got some tough decisions to make. Lost by a point. Stop the run. Couldn't stop the pass. We didn't turn the ball over. Another game looks like we could have won. Offensive line played a little bit better. Chris Olave with a touchdown. Jamal Williams, 46-yard catch. TD. Ryan Ramczyk is back, and he gave up 2 sacks. Off rip. Nate Shepard with 2 sacks. 2 for 2 for group. Look at that. The only green that we had was passing yards. 3-9 Bucks. Who is the worst team in the NFC South? And at least our only win in the division comes at the hands of the Bucks. So we will go 1-5 in the division. At least we didn't get swept, but they outrushed us. They outpassed us. 4 turnovers from our defense. That's exactly what we needed. Cooper Rush is their starting quarterback. Rushing touchdown for A.T. Perry. 91 catches for Chris Olave. Trevor Penning is just having an abysmal season. Peyton Turner, gotta say, Alontae Taylor. What did I tell y'all? Our 4th corner gets involved. 5 tackles, 2 interceptions. Let's go. 2 picks from Marshawn Lattimore. He's probably leading the league. 3 for 3 for Group. Is that even how you say his name? Is it Group or Group A? I don't know. I really watched a whole lot of Saints games this season, even though it's only been 2 weeks. And a pick 6 for Marshawn Lattimore. That's our second, I think, pick 6 on the season. Honey Badger had one. Another injury. And it's Alvin Kamara. That might be it. That might be it for Kamara. That might be it for Kamara. Might look like a whole new Saints team next season. Probably no Kamara, probably no Michael Thomas, no Honey Badger, no Jawan Johnson. Hell, we might not even be able to keep Paulson Adebo. 10-3 Eagles. 3-10 Saints. Now 3-11 Saints. 16-24. What is up with us and getting these safeties? Kendre Miller looking good as the running back 1. I didn't even make him running back. He's running back 2. Jamal Williams getting no carries. We don't like handing the ball off to A.T. Perry, 100 yards. That's exactly what A.T. Perry did last season. Towards the end of the season, he got, a 100-yard game, and I was like, oh, we're going to make him our wide receiver 3 next season. Didn't do nothing in the first half, and now he's doing it again at the end of the season. Trying to fool us. Niles Wilkins with a sack. I hate that the depth chart got messed up because that probably screwed him out of potential defense rookie of the year. Him and our linebacker. I want at least one of them to win it. Look at the Falcons just fell apart. They're now 7-8. Panthers coming out of nowhere. I told you this division is going to be tough. Like, that first season was our opportunity. We let it slip through the cracks of our hands, and Falcons took over. And now the Panthers with Bryce Young, who's now probably the best quarterback in the division. And we're going to lose a lot of pieces. Derek Carr, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Carr isn't playing bad. Jamal Williams, there he goes, touchdown. Receiving, Jerry Jeudy had himself a day. Chris Olave, A.T. Perry might be our new wide receiver 1-2 duo for next season. Pete Warner with 13 tackles. Had a pick for Shout out to our cornerbacks. Shout out to our defense, our secondary getting turnover, man. You saw Alontae Taylor had 2 picks as our 4th corner. Brian Beckham, hidden dev, future starting corner. A pick. A pick. Let's go, man. That means all of our corners besides Levi Wallace, I think, has a pick on the season. Let's go, man. Rotation. All about the rotation. 4-11 Giants, 3-12, probably playing for the number one pick, and we lose. So, hey, end up with the number one pick. We might be in business. 21-28. Passing yards were great. No picks from Derek Carr. I cannot blame him. Kendra Miller with a touchdown. Chris Olave over 100 yards. Touchdown for Jawan Johnson. Pick for Alontae Taylor, man. Let's go, man. The secondary group misses another field goal. We have at least 3 corners, 3 secondary members with at least 3 interceptions on the season. That is crazy. And now we have the Minnesota Vikings. Last game of the season. Let's get the standings real quick just to see if we are the worst team in the league. We are the worst team in the league. So if we lose, we should be good. So we are tanking right now. Dennis Allen could get fired too. And we did lose. He did not get fired. But we do finish with the worst record in the league, which might have been the best thing that could have happened to us this season. But the position that we're in, we got a number 1 draft pick. We don't have a lot of money. We're going to lose a lot of players. 2 touchdowns for Derek Carr. And Derek Carr, he didn't play bad. Like, he did all he could. Jamal Williams, 1 yard for Kendra Miller. A.T. Perry doing it again. 100 yards receiving, 2 touchdowns. I don't know why he keeps waiting to the end of the season when the games are meaningless to ball out like that, but he's doing it again. Don't know if that's enough, though, for us to rely on him to be our wide receiver, maybe wide receiver 2 next season. Pick for our rookie linebacker, Stephon Milner. 2 for 2 for group inside the 21 time for our punter. And let's look at our rankings when it comes to our offense and our defense. We were 21st offense, 18 passing, 25th in rushing. And then our defense was 30th. We had our secondary should have been better. Now, they weren't that great when it came to passing yards, but they were outstanding when it came to getting turnovers and getting interceptions. But we had the worst defensive rushing yards per game in the league, and that may have something to do with us not finding a partner for Brian Brzee. Plus, Brian Brzee went out the last, 5 or 6 games at the end of the season. So, auto upgrade everybody. And looking at the top performers, they had Patrick Mahomes, Dak Prescott, Joe Burrow, Josh Jacobs, Derrick Henry, Christian McCaffrey, CeeDee Lamb, Cooper Kupp, Travis Kelce, Myles Garrett, Micah Parsons, DeMarcus Lawrence, Budda Baker, Marshawn Lattimore. Coming in at second place with 6 interceptions, L'Jarius Sneed, Matt Milano, Devon Diablo, and Quay Walker. Looking at our stats, we were 21st in offensive yards. Derek Carr kind of having the same season he had last season. Defense yards was 30th. Alvin Kamara not getting 1,000 yards again. And then 9th in receiving yards for Chris Olave. So, touchdown, interception ratio, not bad. He even had more yards than he did last season, almost getting up to 4,000 yards. But the touchdowns aren't there. Do we trade Derek Carr? But he got put on his back a lot. 43 sacks, offensive line should protect him more. Rushing. Alvin Kamara, the last 2 years, has been under 1,000 yards. He's going to be 30 years old. Could lose his depth trait. Do we move on from Alvin Kamara and go with like a Jamal Williams or a Kendra Miller, who tied Alvin Kamara with 5 rushing touchdowns on the season? Fumble for Michael Thomas. And in receiving, Chris Olave once again leading our team in catches yards and touchdowns with the emergence of Chris Olave, who could potentially be an X factor, probably another Pro Bowl season for him. We might be okay with moving on from Michael Thomas because Chris Olave is the number one guy here now in New Orleans. I should have traded him. Probably don't have enough money to re-sign him. Probably might lose him for nothing, but might be that time to let him go. A.T. Perry though, 52 catches, 673, 5 touchdowns, not bad for his first season being in the starting lineup. And then Juwan Johnson, not a bad season for him, but we might lose him because of the cap space. Longest reception of the season was only 47 yards, but at least it went to Chris Olave. Offensive line, this is going to be bad. Trevor Penning gave up 21 sacks. And if you look at that compared to the rest of the offensive line, James Hurst, that's bad when it comes to the guard position. Like I said before, when it comes to the guard position, anything over 4 is bad. Center, anything over 3 is terrible. Ryan Ramczyk, he only played in 11 games. He probably would have hit double digits.
The Arizona Cardinals are now on the clock. On the clock now, the Houston Texans. The Las Vegas Raiders now on the clock. The Seattle Seahawks are now on the clock. The Houston Texans are now on the clock. The Green Bay Packers are on the clock. Next up, it's the Broncos on the clock. The Detroit Lions now on the clock. The Pittsburgh Steelers on the clock now. On the clock now, the New England Patriots. And now, on the clock, it's the Arizona Cardinals. The Baltimore Ravens now on the clock. Next up, the Indianapolis Colts are on the clock. It's now the San Francisco 49ers pick. They're up. The Jaguars are on the clock. The Panthers are on the clock. The Buffalo Bills are now on the clock. It's the Dallas Cowboys now on the clock. Now we turn to the Eagles. They're on the clock. The Philadelphia Eagles on the clock now. It's the New Orleans Saints now on the clock. On the clock now, the Houston Texans. On the clock now, the New Orleans Saints. Now on the clock, the Texans. With the next selection, the Saints are on the clock. The Chicago Bears are now on the clock. The New Orleans Saints are now on the clock. On the clock now, the Houston Texans. It's the New Orleans Saints, now on the clock. With the next selection, the Browns are on the clock.